Okay, so that's the Likoni ferry. It's used to cross from Mombasa Island into the south coast. The south coast is where you'll find places like Likoni or Diani, Ukunda, etc. Now we have these ferries here because this is a very vital shipping route and you can't have a bridge here. But then if you are to go to the north coast, you can use the Nyali bridge. Now the water here is deep and the ship needs deep water to maneuver. Keep in mind, there's a lot of ships that use this channel every day and they are going to the port of Mombasa. The port of Mombasa is used by several countries, not just Kenya. The ferry began operations in 1937 and it was introduced by the British colonial administration, with early operations being managed by Kenya Bus Services. That's right, Kenya Bus Services. Back then things were not looking like this and the ferries were not looking like this. So after some years in operation, in 1957 there was the introduction of the double-ended ferries, the ferries that you can enter and exit from both sides. Now the biggest advantage to this format is the fact that you can drive it in reverse or forward, and this is still the format that is being used today pretty much. In 1989, now post-colonization, I'm assuming at that time Kenya is now an independent country, there was a shift of operations from Kenya Bus Services to Kenya Ferry Services, what we have today. So as times go by, we are getting more and more ferries, I would say more and more modern ferries or modern looking ferries with modern features. So these days you have ferries that have sitting space on top and a shade and all that. The ferry carries both people and cars, and by people I mean a significant amount of people. Now for people it's free, but for cars you have to pay a small toll. I think it's 150 shillings. Now a lot of people need to cross this channel on a daily basis, so the ferry can be quite busy. So to deal with this issue, there has been alternative ways of doing things, right? So we had the Liwatoni floating bridge, okay, and then we had the Dongo Kundu bypass, and I think the bypass is a really good initiative. When you come here, you have to understand there's a strict protocol to follow. It's either people are getting out first or the cars are getting out first. Anyways, the Kenya Ferry guys know how to coordinate those things. They also have their ways of coordinating or communicating with the vessels, so when the ships are passing, the ferries will stop for a while. When you're on the ferry, you get to see the best sunset in this country. And this is what I'm talking about. I used to think Kisumu has the best sunset until I saw this. I changed my mind immediately. It's a good thing that the ferry works 24 hours, even on Christmas Day. What amazes me is the fact that this big machine that carries people and cars is driven by one person. That must be very difficult, and I'm assuming the training for this driving or whatever must be very hard. What also amazes me is how they do maintenance on these big machines. Like, how do they change the oil or do service or whatever? I would love to know that. I would also love to know how this ferry is brought to Kenya from the manufacturer in Europe, because I don't think this ferry is designed for long distance journeys. It's a good thing that if you have a mkokoteni, the guys at Kenya Ferry will help you push the mkokoteni when you are leaving the ferry, because it's a bit of an uphill ramp. Anyways, we have to say congratulations for the good work that people at Kenya Ferry do to help us go across and to Diani and all that. And for that we say wanafaa kupigiwa kayamba.